long it take to get an op back? All my niggas outside, steak, bitch, we out back.
My feet up, my feet up, my feet up.
Trap, I'm doing me. Hey yo, keep back with my feet up in the trap. I'm doing me.
My feet up,
I'm doing me.
my feet up.
Hey yo, keep back with my feet up in the trap. I'm doing me. Keep my distance from these suckers. I can't let them ruin me. Drug dealer, pimps and hustlers, they the ones influence me. 13 jumped off the porch with drugs is influence. Hey yo, keep back with my feet up. Keep back with my feet up. Keep back with my feet up in the trap. I'm doing me. Hey yo, keep back with my feet up. Keep back with my feet up. Drug dealer, pimps and hustlers, they the ones influence me. With a work naked like a skinny dipping, no profit, we did for the school conviction. Told out, cover screw missing. Paranoid niggas superstition. No paper in the real efficient. Niggas stole what a nigga kissing. Without a diamond, still shine kissing. Sell around so everybody hit it. Falling strong, charging for a mission. Man, it's simple addition. Bad luck like a bad shit. One of the few still a better shit. No matter what, never act different. No GPS, but the neck tripping. Money cup, yes, I'm back sipping. Like that's a kid, I guess I'm back to hey, yo, keep back with my feet up in the trap. I'm doing me. Keep my distance from these suckers. I can't let them ruin me. Drug dealer, pimps and hustlers, they the ones influence me. 13 jumped off the porch with drugs is insurance. Hey, yo, keep back with my feet up. Keep back with my feet up. Keep back with my feet up in the trap. I'm doing me. Hey, yo, keep back with my feet up. Keep back with my feet up. Drug dealer, pimps and hustlers, they the ones influence me.
I was riding the tourist, dreaming of a rain. Got a little bun, never another game. Roll by the X-Spain, pop by the game. Back down with a dude, set a Timberlake. Rear reach at a rally, it's a murder eight. Ball coming up, rock step with an eight. I'm a star cloud now, I'm an Alex Payne. Roll running, show money, get it straight state. Glad brother finna kid, have him on the way. Riding on the 6-9, press a whole day. I was counting money way back at home day. 7 name with a boy, MoneyBoy train. HD lifestyle, let me phone game. 4 paper, 2 rock, corn, and game. Being legal, I can't 34 state. Every time that you gotta play.
Hey yo, keep back with my feet up in the trap, I'm doing me. Keep my distance from these suckers, I can't let them ruin me. Drug dealer, pimps and hustlers, they the ones influence me. 13 jumped off the porch with drugs is insurance. Hey yo, keep back with my feet up. Keep back with my feet up. Keep back with my feet up in the trap, I'm doing me. Hey yo, keep back with my feet up. Keep back with my feet up. Drug dealer, pimps and hustlers, they the ones influence me. Hey yo, keep back with my feet up in the trap, I'm doing me. Keep my distance from these suckers, I can't let them ruin me. Drug dealer, pimps and hustlers, they the ones influence me. 13 jumped off the porch with drugs is insurance. Hey yo, keep back with my feet up. Keep back with my feet up. Keep back with my feet up in the trap, I'm doing me. Hey yo, keep back with my feet up. Keep back with my feet up. Drug dealer, pimps and hustlers, they the ones influence me.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Toxic Masculinity Show. I'm your host, MoneyBoy Trade. No, Gabe, this show is about Kevin Samuels and Dr. Jefferson, my G. Although I do have to address something that the striker known as Philly Phil said/did earlier. If y'all hadn't noticed, I put up a community post. And I put up the community post because when we played the video last night, we heard the striker formerly known as Philly Phil said, yeah, I knew my daughter before she moved to that house and all that. Yeah, we had reconnected. So as always, I provided receipts. And in the receipt, it showed that was their first time talking. She was still filling her in about what was going on. They literally had just reconnected. It was the day after she called the striker, and the striker said, no, you got the wrong person. And the lady in the community post, the message just simply says, I'm moving to Sherwood. There's no secret that Philly Phil stays in Sherwood. She has a freaking P.O. box that she tells everybody to send stuff to. So I don't know how me saying an area of Arkansas is dropping your address. Lady, you really got to stop it now. At this point, you seem senile. Your city is not your address, ma'am. And I got a question for you. What you must have sent some stuff to Memphis for some other people, because you ain't never sent me nothing. You've brought me gifts, but I had to go to Arkansas to pick some up. I had to go to Hernando to get the other ones. You ain't never sent nothing to me, so why are you over there lying to your people? And that's all I have to say about the striker. But yes, this Dr. Jefferson lady did a review on Kevin Samuels. It's called "So Kevin Samuels Has Died Alone." I don't even know. The title off top is just wrong. He didn't die alone. He died with a woman. So where would you get that from? Maybe you should have said he died single, yada, yada, yada. But he definitely died in the company of a woman. You don't know how long him and this woman been dating. Y'all know I have a history with Dr. Jefferson. I won't say it's good or bad. We just have a history. And I saw Urban was on the show and he was reviewing some of it. And I ain't gonna lie, I was triggered by a lot of the stuff that I heard. That's why I was in and out. But it was so much hubbub and all of that stuff about her live that I decided to review it myself. And the link is pinned in case anybody wants to come up here and have any objections to the stuff that she's saying, or if you agree with what she's saying. Hit the link.
As giving everyone something to talk about, men and women are on social media praising him, while other men speaking on Kevin's name. It was interesting.
She's answering a question from somebody on her social media.
My reminder of the show going live. And I thought that was interesting. Mark Williams, he says, I see his imprint, speaking on Kevin Samuels' imprint that he left, as giving everyone something to talk about. Men and women are on social media praising him, while other men and women are criticizing him. I've seen more of his content come across my timeline than when he was alive. I've had to go to his page just so I could judge for myself. I really like that one. Really like that. Says, what may be an invaluable imprint to some, I see men and women who found intrinsic value in his platform. We're going to talk about that too. One thing.
Nanya, we were looking for you yesterday when Urban did it. Urban didn't do the whole thing, though, I don't think. I think Urban did from where he came up on the panel. I'm starting at the beginning because I know this lady be shooting off.
Sure, his followers and naysayers are talking, and people like me are learning about him. I just don't understand why people pay so much attention who they label as ain't shit.
Because they're fans. That was nice.
That was well put. And so I don't know. I think that that's an interesting comment. I think that that's an interesting comment in and of itself, because the reality is, one could ask Kevin Samuels the same question if he were still alive, right? Why put so much of your energy and so much of your attention towards other people's lives and their behaviors and, conditions of their behavior? If
I can answer that question, man, because that's how he paid his bills. It's that simple. It's his job. That would almost be like somebody asking you, why did you put so much time and effort in all of that into becoming a psychotherapist or whatever degree you hold? Why would you be that concerned about people's business that you went and got degrees and you wake up every day to be in somebody's business? It's simple, because it's your job.
If you really feel like the value of these women and the worth of these women is absolutely nothing. So, welcome to Life Discussions with Dr. Jefferson. This is a platform where we have the difficult conversations around issues that affect directly the Black, brown, and melanated community in America and abroad. We have these conversations, and sometimes we ask difficult questions. I am okay with gauging the difficult conversations.
This lady has been a Kevin Samuels basher since I ran across her about 8-9 months ago. She's a Kevin Samuels basher, and she's a feminist. She can try to hide it all she wants to, but she's a feminist.
Answering the difficult questions and all of that good stuff, because I feel like sometimes we have to have those conversations in order for us to expand our understanding as to how we adapt and how we grow in a healthy way in this world where society is so conflicted as to what it looks like for us to lead normal and healthy lives. And so I am Dr. Jefferson. Welcome to my platform. If you feel the need to comment, to ridicule, to curse me out, or whatever it is that you want to say, feel free. This is an open platform. This is definitely a free country. Just know that I will not post the comments that I see or my producer sees as not necessarily on topic. So it could be offensive. Who cares? Everybody has an opinion.
I wonder if I'm still a mod over there.
Really. Everyone has one.
Let me look at her live chat.
Some people have multiple. And those opinions are welcome here, even if they don't necessarily, reflect that you agree with me, because you don't have to, right? So in my attempt to toe the line and have
Dr. Jefferson. See, when we was cool, I didn't tell you this. We ain't talked in a whole host of months. So every time you take that deep ass breath, it's annoying. You don't have to do that before every sentence. It's annoying. I don't know if anybody's ever told you that. Maybe your producer should have, but yeah, it's annoying.
Conversation and give an honest answer to the questions that were asked of me. I have decided that these are the particular topic areas that we're going to explore in this particular order. We're going to talk about Kevin Samuels, the content creator. We're going to talk about the responsibility and accountability component of content creators, as the CCs are. And we're going to talk about Kevin Samuels, the man, which I think definitely need to be, that needs to be discussed, because oftentimes people see content creators in one light, and they don't realize that the light that they see a person that is creating content and pushing content out on social media, it may not necessarily be fully and wholly representative of who that person is and how they lead their lives. Some people are extremely honest and open with their lives on social media. And some people are more like reality TV. They are doing things that attract a certain population of people and give light to a different type of conversation. So that
nigga, hit the link. You started this. You triggered me yesterday. Let me trigger you today.
They're really just there for entertainment and to also challenge people on, their views in life and things like that. Okay. We'll also have a conversation about legacy and imprint, right? The impression that we leave on people while we are connected to people as we walk this experience called life on earth with others. And you got
praise white Jesus, QST. Praise white Jesus.
We'll get my final thoughts.
Hello, Letitia.
Hey, MoneyBoy.
Fair warning, this lady is going to trigger the hell out of you.
Don't do that.
Letitia, you hit the link. The Godfather is being discussed.
I'm here for it. I'm here for the Godfather conversation, because guess what? He was definitely my godfather.
It's no secret. I didn't dislike Kevin Samuels, but I wasn't a Kevin Samuels fan. But this lady triggered me. Like
which
the
lady?
Title, the one who we're reviewing now, Dr. Jefferson.
Okay.
And the title of her video is "So Kevin Samuels has died alone," when clearly he died in the presence of a woman that he was dating.
Exactly.
But she's a feminist though, so I expect nothing less from her.
Yeah, all the feminists hate him.
And she's had a gripe with him since she popped on the scene. So she literally went on like a Kevin Samuels marathon for about a month. Jeez.
Since he passed away, or no?
No, this was when she first got on YouTube and she discovered Kevin Samuels. She discovered Kevin Samuels about 8 months ago.
And I wonder if she ever went on his panel, because he always welcomed the detractors.
I've challenged her to go on his show and Thomas Sotomayor's show because she disagrees with both of them. She wouldn't do it. She would, however, make videos and tag them, hoping that somehow her video would get back to them, which it never did.
MoneyBoy, can I say something?
Speak your speech.
I know you like Tommy Sotomayor. That's your boy, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was a bit much. I mean, he is a bit much. I think he's a little worse than Kevin Samuels.
Well, I've never complained about Kevin Samuels' delivery, ever. I don't dislike him. I'm just not a fan of his, but he just took Tommy Sotomayor's message and he packaged it different. He put a suit on it.
Right. But
But
you
it's
want
the same
a lot,
thing.
a lot of men have that same message. And
Yes.
Samuels packaged it differently, and he did something that the other men never did.
Yeah, I can't ever say the man was lying or anything. I'm just not a fan, but I don't you know what I'm saying? I'm not a fan, but I don't dislike him. How most people were like, oh no, he bad, he this. Nah,
Yeah.
he ain't lying.
I feel rude. I didn't even say hi to Joy and the other people on the panel.
Ain't nobody else up here yet. Joyce heard you, I think, when she spoke. She
Yeah.
said, oh my God, you hit the panel.
Yeah.
How you doing, Joy?
You know, it's kind of rough. I have to deal with this big head guy right here. He's very confrontational. He's always starting mess. But,
What?
otherwise, everything is fine.
Who I started mess with now?
Child, every time you push this live button,
Oh, Dr. Jefferson ain't gonna do nothing.
Mhm.
She don't do nothing. All right, let's get back to this lady. Trigger warning. Damn it, where'd he go?
Death of Kevin Samuels and kind of what my real thoughts are. I'm one of those creators I happen to be very authentic in my presentation online because I'm not here for the money or the clicks. Just not. So I'm here to have the discussion. And for me, these are things that are important because I think cognizance helps us to avoid.
I hate when people say, I'm not here for the money or the clicks, and then they have their Cash App information in the show and in the description. You can't have it both ways. And nobody gets on YouTube hoping that nobody watches them. Nobody says, hey, I'm going to do this video and I want 0 people to watch it. I just want to talk.
Preach.
Negative cycles and negative patterns that have already transpired in our history because sometimes we walk through life and we're ignorant of things that have happened. And when we live a life that is oblivious of what has happened and what the outcomes were as a result of knowing what has happened, we have a tendency to repeat history. And the thing
is this your medical diagnosis?
What is she talking about?
I don't know. Like Kevin Samuels, pretty much. She calling Kevin Samuels ignorant. She's saying the people that listened to him was ignorant because they believed everything he said instead of just saying that it's his job and all of that good stuff.
And Letitia, I just want to say this. We don't supply any kind of medical insurance. So once you get triggered by listening to her commentary, please direct it to your primary doctor. Okay? Thank you.
Repeating history is that you're repeating it in the same fashion, in the same style. It just looks a little different for you because you're in the dance. And at the end of the day, you have the same outcomes. That says that as a society of people, our growth and our maturation happens to be stagnated or retarded or whatever you want to call it, right? And we don't want that, not if we want to be people who are progressive, right? Or growth oriented. I think it's really important for us to have these discussions because they help us to see where we've gone wrong and perhaps opens us up to the suggestion of doing something a little different, okay? So let's talk about Kevin Samuels, the content creator, because very much like Mark Williams, was that his name? Mentioned, very much like he mentioned, right? This guy, he's just seeing content from this guy. He is really just learning about him. And I do remember when I was first asked to do a review on his average at best, which gave him popularity. Okay? When I was asked to do that review on my channel,
it was actually popular.
It was after I had personally sat through as a clinician, because I'm a psychotherapist, after I had personally sat through several different assessments where these young women felt very low sense of worth.
Yeah, I remember her telling us that lie once before, that she had women that came in and said Kevin Samuels' words affected them.
What? That's because they believe that about themselves already. I just had this conversation with one of my cousins. She was saying that she was surprised that I liked him because I met some of his checks, checks on his boxes. And one of them is if you're a woman over 35 or 40 or something like that, that you're leftovers. And I said, well, I don't believe that I'm left over, so why would I be offended by that?
Thank
I
you. That's his opinion of
his opinion.
people.
Like,
She actually said that women were suicidal. She met
what?
with women that were suicidal.
My thing is the only thing you should have told them women. I think she's lying about somebody actually coming to her saying that because, as she just said, the average she didn't know who the nigga was before average at best. So
Whatever.
the chances of people telling you about him before you claim he went viral is slim to none. But as a doctor, the first thing you should have told him is stop watching that nigga. If he makes you feel that bad, you could control watching him. He
Yeah,
don't make you click on.
that's that. I have a girlfriend that didn't want to listen to him and watch him, and she said I can't listen to nothing like that because he'll have me thinking ways about myself that I don't think women should listen to him. No, that's not positive.
How
So
can somebody change your view of you, especially if you already view yourself in a positive light? Nothing anybody says could offend you. If anything, you could be like, well, they see something that I don't. Let me self assess and see if what they're saying is true and make adjustments accordingly.
that. Mhm.
She's the doctor though. Urban, I see you trying to hide too, my G. It's all good. You getting a letter in the mail, you've been fine, sir.
Oftentimes helpless, hopeless, and borderline suicidal, passive suicidality, right? As a result of having sat through some of his content on social media. Now, the first thing I want to say is that people are imprinted and impressed in different ways. Although you may see an adult age assigned to a person, sometimes that adult age is not indicative of their level of maturation. Emotional maturation is something that comes with time, experience, tenure, wisdom, insight, exposures. Okay, and
I agree with
and
that.
whether or not you learn from those exposures, experiences, etc., indicates sometimes how we become congruent with self. And so, while you have some people that have a very strong sense of self and they know who they are, they know where they stand in life. Some people don't, right? And Kevin Samuels,
Well, ma'am,
You just said it.
there's this thing called that's just the way of the world, man. The strong survive, the weak die. That that's always been a thing. You can't stop the weak from dying off. We need the weak people so we can know who the strong ones are. I'm still trying to figure out your point.
And she just said it herself that, you know, there's some people that just don't feel like self-sufficient. And if that's the case, then a man like Kevin Samuels is going to trigger them. If you don't feel good about yourself,
Anybody will trigger them if they don't feel good about themselves. Why is it just Kevin Samuels?
yeah.
content creator is just a person that is behind the screen that is looking for clicks.
I just want to point out it's several prominent big name YouTubers that talk shit about men all day. You don't see any men going around on this crusade saying cancel them or I hate them or women shouldn't watch them.
That's that.
In fact, we just be like, oh, start the manosphere. Forget women.
Hmm.
That we don't complain about what they're doing.
For clicks because clicks turn into coins, cash, money, you know? And oftentimes in a world where there is so much going on and where it's so difficult for people to live lives authentically and function in the careers of their choosing, but they struggle with issues, social issues, right? Oftentimes mental health issues, social issues and trouble with engaging with other people and interacting with other people and things like that. It makes it very difficult for people to hold down a good job, right? Or a steady job or function in a career, right? And these are just realities. These are realities that human beings face every
It's
single day.
hard to
So
hold down a
this guy
job.
having faced all of these challenges, apparently because he's gone through an unsuccessful relationship, then a couple of unsuccessful relationships, ending in divorce and things like that, he finds a golden nugget after years of trying.
But ma'am, you've been through a divorce as well, so you can't judge Kevin Samuels and say what he talking about is wrong because you've been divorced yourself. yet you still are able to give advice and all of that good stuff. Just saying.
Media to make it by targeting guys and talking about fashion, style, and things like that. He's online talking about these things because these are things that interest him, for one. These are areas that he has struggled with, for two. And these are also areas that, because he was interested and had struggled with acquiring the right knowledge and the right know-how and moving in those social circles, he figured, you know what, why don't I find myself online giving the same level of advisement to other people who are young and who are out here? Maybe that'll keep them from having to go through some of the difficulties that I've gone through. This is just me on the outside looking at, making an educated guess of what inspired me on social media, considering the fact that his initial target was men. And he had an initial target of a different topic, okay? So
it's called rebranding.
He realizes that.
Somebody said something?
What's he saying? What was his initial topic for men?
Well, he did start out where he was telling men like about ties and suits and cologne and different stuff like that. When he initially started, but there's nothing wrong with rebranding. Before I came on YouTube, I was on Facebook pro-black. Didn't last long, but I was that. I know people are shocked because they like, well, you never heard you say that. I know, you rebrand. You see what works, and then if it works, you keep at it. If it doesn't work,
and that's the thing, he found his niche with talking to black women or just women, because a lot of times, like his title, it'll say modern women, young women, but then in his commentary, he'll be like, "You modern women, blah blah blah," but black women specifically. You know what I'm saying? He'll say something like that, but I don't know. But,
yeah, but he's still even. But he did he did his men stuff when he went on other shows, kind of like that. Where I was on his show, he found his niche, he stuck to it. But when he went to O'Shea Jackson's and other people's shows, they still did the typical man talk.
I never seen him on O'Shea shit.
Well, I think him and O'Shea did a few things together. It's a while back.
Did you see the video with him and the lead attorney?
Yeah.
I just saw it. You know, I hadn't watched Kevin Samuels in a couple of months. You know,
so this was he did a recent one with lead attorney. I remember him doing it when the lead attorney first popped on the scene. I think he had popped up on his show.
He did a recent one. I just watched it yesterday, and this video was about 10 or 15 days ago. And the reason why I found out about it is because the lead attorney did a long live stream talking about Kevin Samuels. What happened is he had flew down to Miami and had an in-person sit-down conversation.
Oh, interesting. Well, no, I hadn't. I got to go check that out. I didn't know he had a new one.
Yeah.
Where is this?
He's not getting the type of response from the target audience, you know? So what do we know about marketing, scalability, advertising?
Oh, are you trying to say that's wrong?
When one thing has proven to be failing because the numbers tell us, because the numbers don't lie, as this guy says, oftentimes.
Which is why you went on a Kevin Samuels marathon at one point, because the other topics you were talking about weren't picking up traction. But when you talked about Kevin Samuels, you saw your numbers go up. You did it too. So why are you criticizing him for doing the same thing that you have done and are currently doing? That's the reason why you want to cover this topic too, because you knew it was going to do numbers.
Don't lie, right? When collecting the data about people actually coming to, his platform to view the content that he had available, and he's watching the movements of other guys. Now, this is not just my observations on the outside looking in. This is also me having listened to and reviewed several of the videos where he's had conversations with these individual creators. So he has conversations with these creators. They bring more people his way because they're talking about things that, though they're talking about fashion and they're talking about sort of like a segue into relationship and masculinity and what being a man really means and things like that. What's that guy? What's that one who did the video and showed the content? Alpha Male Strategies. I can't think of him either. But he was a male that was on there. he's pretty big. Along with the names like O'Shea Duke Jackson and stuff like that. I can't think of his name. It's Alpha something. So if you guys remember, if I have viewers who are watching right now who have watched that video, and you remember that guy's name, just type it in the comments for me. But so there is this guy. He's having this conversation with him, and they're talking about, basically some of the main pointers of what drives women to men. So the attractability component. This is when I think he recognized that there is value in having those kinds of conversations, right? And so since there is value in having those kinds of conversations, he shifts gears. And when he shifts gears to create content that is more appropriate of drawing the type of traction that he needs to his channel, he starts to talk to men and girls. Men and girls.
Tough Love, this is all your fault. You introduced me to this crazy woman. It's very fitting you just walked in the room. This is your fault that I even know this person exists.
And about the same.
Tough Love in the chat.
Yeah, he in the chat.
I like him, so I watch him sometimes.
Hey, see, Tough Love, you got fans over here.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same sentiments around dating, attraction, and what qualities are in a man or a woman that make them a viable partner. Essentially, he moves into that area and he stops talking about dress and those things as a centralized focus directed towards men, and now he's moving into a directionality that takes him towards relationship congruence and talking about this is what it takes for you to be a person that's of value, and moving into relationships, right? And essentially, I don't even think that he knew. I don't. But for those people who are social psychologists that are out there, who are psychotherapists that are out there that are watching this content, and you have reviewed a couple of videos of this guy's content, what was really happening right there is him recognizing that there is a social awkwardness about himself and his previous position in the world, and that there is some acceptability. There is something here of value, right? And so he positions himself in a place on social media to where he is telling.
How do you get that he felt... Again, I'll run with that. If that's why he did it, then that's why you became a doctor, because you felt inadequate with yourself, so you're trying to fix other people. Come on, G. You gotta stop this. All right, it's time to say my catchphrase. Self-awareness on YouTube is at an all-time low, even from doctors. You cutting up on your avatar, by the way.
Like-minded individuals.
You like you happy. You got that 27-year-old look on your face.
Hey.
A very similar trauma, and I've talked about that relational trauma with women and men relationships, right? And they, almost start like a gossip column, and at the same time, you see the MGTOW movement, which is men going their own way, kind of really take off. And so there are more men that are gravitating to that channel and having those discussions and listening to the words of wisdom, as they say, that Kevin Samuels is spewing. I had one person that viewed the content on my page and said, "What do you mean? Kevin is the Godfather, and he's speaking and preaching and teaching God's word." Watch out now. But here's the thing. There are a lot of things that you will do in this life where we all have free will, but to bring forward a conscious group of people to think that you're delivering a message that is given from a higher power, a creator of man.
He never said that. That's what somebody told you he was doing. So how you gonna put that on him?
Right. I was just about to say, did he say that? That he was preaching God's word?
No, that's what somebody said to her in her comment section, because they like, you pretty much got Kevin Samuels messed up. He doing the Lord's work. Something people say all the time. It's just a phrase that's thrown around.
Right.
She just hates this man. I don't know what he did to her. Dr. Jefferson, who hurt you?
I don't know. I feel like sometimes we're treading lightly, when we talk about these issues and the manifestation of what is the power of the tongue, as they say, right? The reality is, whatever it is that Kevin Samuels' message, happened to validate for his followers, it was for his followers, right? Those people who clicked like continue to watch, continue to have the conversations. Because one thing that you guys will say, two things for certain that you have heard on my channel repeatedly, is that I just don't like the guy. I don't like people that are disingenuous. I don't like people who spew messages or give messages to people that are not congruent with the life that they live. And so that's these YouTube.
That's funny coming from a lady that told us she got over 50 properties in like 27 countries. She'd been shot down out of helicopters. She got 8 different medical degrees, but she also currently still lives in an area where she hears gunshots every day. That's who just said all of that about why she doesn't like someone. I'm just saying, the self awareness is, you must not remember all of this stuff that you've said on the internet. You'd have been in 18 helicopter shoot downs. You was a lieutenant. You came over here on a boat from wherever country you was from. Your name Laquanda, but you say Lakianda, even though neither one of those are a Dutch name or wherever you from. It's the lies for me.
Streets are like reality TV. I just
You said what?
She want to stay in her community because she want to, help the community and stuff probably, you know?
I guess.
don't indulge, okay? And so my personal feelings are just, they're still the same. Nothing changes. So for me, what I see is a guy who was a content creator who created content that initially failed because his target audience was not interested in what he initially decided to talk about, but eventually, during a conversation with a very toxic male, he blew up. And then,
ain't that what Oprah did? You not judging her. Ain't that what Gail did? You ain't judging her. Ain't that what Howard Stern did? Ain't judging him. What it? Oh, she really hates that men. I think she hates women listen to him more than men because most of his audience was women. The people that they say he was bashing and all that, that's who was supporting him.
Mm-hmm.
The same way with Fresh and Fit. They claim they're misogynists and all that, but they have no shortage of 8 women willing to line up and go on that show every time they go live.
Yeah, that's right. I was gonna say just like Be Love. I know this is not the same sector or whatever, but she started out doing black behind cooking shows. Look at her now. She changed the content to mukbangs. I mean, it happens all the time. People change their stuff. What's the problem? People crazy.
The problem, it was Kevin Samuels, and he had been divorced twice, so he can't
Right.
change up. He can't change up his message.
And I
He
hate
got
that narrative too, that people that aren't in a marriage or what looks like a successful marriage, they can't give advice on relationships. Why can't they? They experienced it. They can tell you from the experience and their mistakes what to do and what not to do. I don't get that.
yeah, especially if they're honest, they can tell you where they messed up.
Mhm. Mhm.
he decided to pursue that relational conversation with Black women. Black women, and I know this is going to really sound cliche, but Black women is one of the most unprotected groups in America. But the truth of the matter is we are. And there's a reason for that.
I'm gonna just let that comment pass. I'm not gonna even touch that one. I'm gonna see what she says though, because she said there's a reason for it. So let's see what the good doctor has to say.
And it's not all on men. Just gonna be honest. When you are
She
so
said she
radioed
dislikes them.
as a woman in your femininity, and your femininity becomes toxic to the people who are connected to you, the people who are supposed to be protecting and providing for you, yeah, it might cause them to divest quite a bit. So I call a spade a spade. So as Kevin Samuel sees that he's had difficult relationships and he's towing the line and having the conversations with these other men that have had difficult relationships with women, there are some.
Yeah, so she just said that she just gave an excuse for why Black women want to divest. And Men don't care. We're not out picketing the divestment community saying y'all need to stop saying it.
Hmm.
She just, I don't get her. I
Hmm.
don't get it. But
What's her
here's this, because on
name?
one hand
Dr.
she'll
What?
say, I couldn't hear you. Go ahead.
What's her name? Dr. What?
Laquanda Jefferson.
Oh,
I send you a link. But
mm,
on one hand, she would be like, she knows all these rich and powerful men and all of that. So she says she acknowledges that they exist, but now she just said she understands why black women are unprotected and it's because of us and that's why they divested. You can't have it both ways, lady. But again, you probably don't remember you ever saying all this stuff on my show before. The videos
oh,
are still up.
came on your show?
Yeah, she used to well, this is before state gang even became a thing. She used to come around. She used to be a
Oh,
regular. She used to be a regular on the panel.
mm,
She just did that gay stuff for me one too many times after I told her to stop, and I had to get firm with her, and we ain't spoke since.
gotcha.
Things about us as a culture of women that make us less than cooperative, that make us angry, that make us upset, that disappoint us. And I think what happens is there are so many black women out here trying to fight the idea or the stigma associated with who we are as black women, as a culture of women, that oftentimes it's hard for us to own the incongruences that present in our presentation.
Ma'am, you can't consider yourself black because you told us where you're from, race doesn't exist. So you can't even say that. Or did you forget you said that on my show as well? The videos are still up. You can't say that you're black, ma'am. You can't even associate with it because you said race don't exist where you from and other parts of the world. It's only over here.
Mm,
Because
mm-hmm.
if we are to own it, then we are just
Yeah, yeah, she's an interesting character. I'll say that much.
a statistic. And you saw this guy constantly combating that, the brokenness in those women were confrontational because they called him because they needed some level of validation from this person that is lost. And really, essentially, he was just there to create content, to get clicks.
What about
That's it.
what
That's
about
it.
they were calling in because they were clout chasing and they wanted to be heard and seen on a popular radio show like anybody does that calls in on a radio show. Why is it that they have to have low self esteem and all of that to call a line? It's been done for hundreds of years before this man ever showed up.
Mm-hmm.
So the people that hit your StreamYard link are what? This is just unreal.
That's it. To draw attention. And when you think about the purpose that we have in life, perhaps there is a space for that type of voice and a necessity for it. And I've said it several times, like a lot of folks tabled the conversation of whether or not Kevin Samuels needed to be canceled because of his content that he was putting out here.
Whoa,
Hey Mario, how are you? You should come on up and share your perspectives. But
Yeah, she was on that bandwagon that he needed
he
to
needs
be
to be
canceled.
canceled.
Yeah, they want to
Yeah,
censor people.
what was she one a part of the bunch that had the petition going around of, to cancel him? Probably
I
was.
wouldn't be shocked if she signed it
Mm, mm, mm. It didn't work.
at all. It never works with YouTubers.
Mm, mm, mm. That's crazy. I just hate that. You know what I hate is that his real message got lost in translation because of his delivery. Because I got the message, but it
People
got
just
it
were.
did get lost.
There was nothing wrong with his delivery. People, if they don't like you, they're just going to find a way to say it. It wouldn't matter how he said it. They just wouldn't like it.
Yeah,
It's just how the world goes. Because
yeah,
again, he took his message directly from Tommy. People hated Tommy's delivery. Kevin Samuels cleaned it up, which is why everybody liked him. but people still said something was wrong with his delivery.
Right, right. So he
Well,
spoke.
I just hope America doesn't come for me because I'm still just dumbfounded by the fact that just a couple of years ago, I don't know how long it's been, 2 years, everybody was crying and whining. You,
Uh oh.
you better not say
I
Nipsey.
know where you going.
Oh, where I'm
Oh, I
going.
thought you. My bad. I thought you was going with Tory Lanez and them. But go back to
Oh no,
Nipsey.
that's no. Just the regard for death for it's that's for me. I don't want to be like, oh, I'm from South Central, I'm from California, I know about the gangs and everything like that, and I know Nipsey and all this stuff, but the world went crazy when Kodak Black just said, hey, Lauren, you feeling lonely, let me holler at you. I mean, everybody named mama came outside like, don't disrespect him. Don't do this. I'm like, he is an active gang member that probably passed out a few T-shirts here and there. Here is a man that's fully passed away, and people are celebrating that. It just
Now I gotta do that. It's not people. It's black women.
What were
okay.
they celebrating? They were celebrating that the fact that he came at him.
No, they're literally saying they're happy he's dead and that they deserve to celebrate.
They're saying because he disparaged black women, this is what he deserved. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, he did talk about black women. He did disparage us. So, I
Right,
mean,
right.
he is dead. So, I'm like, I'm listening to these well established, supposedly black women that married with me. I'm just listening to this like, wow, death just don't mean nothing. But then in the same breath, I can't wait to the Nipsey's court and we about to get justice and I'm like, so what's the difference between both deaths?
I'll do you one closer, but it wasn't a death
And
involved. But
he called black women the B word in his songs, period.
Jacob Blake was beating black women. He got shot by the police. They weren't. Nobody said he deserved to be shot
Hmm.
because he disparaged the black woman by beating her.
I share your same sentiment, Joy. It's okay that you didn't agree with Kevin Samuels and the, things he may have said, the way he said it, and everything. But why would you say things like he got what he deserved, as if he was like a serial killer, like a Jeffrey Dahmer or about the
All
same?
because he asked you what your waist size is. And no, ma'am, you're not
Right.
gonna marry no man with 6 figures. So that's disparaging. I'm just like, maybe I'm missing a few lies. Maybe I didn't see what they saw. But for
Well,
me,
he did.
it's
He
not my
did.
cup of tea, so I didn't listen. I listened for entertainment value. Like, why aren't you? It was the people calling for me. I'm like, what you calling for?
Well, you can't not call
5 years
these
of
black
living the
women
project.
queens.
He
You
did
can't
call
say
for
they
black
they
women.
not beautiful, and you can't say they not queens. That'll get them pissed off every time.
He did tell a woman that she looked like a linebacker one time.
But did she though?
I don't know. I didn't see that live. I heard about it.
I'm sure that wasn't the first time she done heard that in life.
Okay, so what's the difference between him saying that versus these folks saying, "Oh, I was just roasting"? What if he was just roasting?
Yeah, yeah.
It's yeah, like I said, it's just what I'm seeing in real time with real people. Even when Vivica,
Yeah, yeah.
I was
That whole
just like,
tempo got on my nerves
child, if you don't go sit your ass down somewhere,
with her plastic face.
man, hello, she looked like a fox.
Right. She got the right name.
You know what? I think that's the live that got Tommy banned. That was the last live he did where cause he had been doing a whole bunch of Kevin Samuel stuff. He did that Vivica Fox one, and I think he was going pretty hard.
Yeah, I
I
saw
didn't
that.
see it, but I
I,
think he was going pretty hard. That may have been the one that got him took down.
I think so too. I think so too. It's crazy. And at that point, what he
I
need like
constantly
Oh,
said
my
no
bad. Go
because
ahead.
I was just saying at that point we had like about 3,000 or something subscribers or something like that.
No, on one he was at like 8, and on the other one he was at like 11.
Wow.
Well, I'm just gonna tell y'all this. Like Tupac said, when I pass, y'all better come to my party. It better be a party at my funeral.
Yeah, it's one thing to celebrate somebody's death in the way that you happy that they going home with the Lord and it was their time and things like that. But then it's another thing to celebrate the person's death in the sense of, oh, good, I'm so happy he's dead. Good, he's just evil, evil. Evil is going out the world type thing. That's different. That's different,
Mm-mm-mm.
and that's what these people are doing to Kevin Samuels, and it's not cool. I just wonder how many people are going to celebrate in this way when R. Kelly passed away.
Say that again.
How many women are going to celebrate R. Kelly's death?
Oh, child, yeah. Well, listen. That's for another discussion. I'm on
If
my free
black
R. Kelly
women,
kick,
if
so
black
I
women
don't
can
want to trigger
say,
nobody. Free R. Kelly though, no triggers.
but if black women can say that they deserve to celebrate him dying, then they can't get mad when a white person kills a black person and a white person says, "Hey, he deserves to die."
Right.
That's how crazy y'all sound now. If the other race did that about one of us, y'all would be calling them all types of names and saying how wrong and evil they were for just saying someone deserved to die. Someone
Right.
that talked.
Right.
That's what he did. He talked.
And can we add disparaging to our? We still haven't did our live yet. And Letitia, you can add to our list. We have a long list of words that we got to do a live about, and disparaging is one of them. Because I'm sick of hearing that word. I'm like, child, please y'all stop using that word.
Bashing.
Bashing is on the list. We got bashing. Disparaging is. I've been hearing that for the last. I think heard that about 50 million times since all of this happened. All of a
Yeah,
sudden, people got new words in their vocabulary.
that's definitely a popular word amongst the mouths of the
He
people.
disparaged black women all the time, and yeah, he needs to die. And he rented his apartment, and he didn't pay his child support, and he was married twice. And I'm just like,
So,
so y'all mad
uh,
about that?
so
Your baby
I,
daddy is the same person. He ain't pay his child support.
Mm-hmm.
He rented an apartment, but you got a T-shirt on with a bucket in your hand, standing in the middle of the freeway trying to collect money.
Mm-hmm.
Child, go ahead.
Hey, everybody has the right to voice their opinion. If his opinion is that the system, the institution of marriage is broken irrevocably because like there are so many ideals in young women and young men that don't align with, having a long-term marriage survive, whatever. That's his platform, right? But when it starts to be a powerful message that you are pushing forward and your message is now impacting the way that people show up in their lives. It impacts the way that people value their life in general. It impacts the way that people see other people in this walk in life. When it impacts the way that men and women are engaging with one another or disengaging with one another. When your message is one that is so powerful to do those things, I think you have to check yourself. And I think you have to ask yourself, like, have I done the things that are necessary for me to responsibly create this content and push it out there for my following?
no, you don't. What the fuck? What is this? Movie theaters don't. Movie executives don't do it. Rap executives don't do it. Rock and roll executives don't. Why does a nigga on YouTube have to?
Right.
Well, I need to make sure I'm careful with the message that I'm pushing out. No, I don't. People have a choice to listen to it or not listen to it. This
Mm-hmm.
man was not giving any damn life changing advice that if you listen to it and it didn't work, you would die.
Right.
The worst thing that could happen if you took his advice is you lose weight and you find different type men than you used to dating.
Mm-hmm.
This is ridiculous.
Have I been responsible?
I've been not asked.
I feel like content creators on YouTube and so many other platforms have zero accountability.
I sure don't. It's entertainment.
I do. I feel like we have a very, very powerful voice. For one, you can be heard in several other countries.
Yes, and you were just heard saying you hate Kevin Samuels, a nigga you ain't never met that you never had to watch.
Never had to watch.
There is an imprint and an impression that you are pushing out there into the atmosphere, into the universe. And people might see you as a representative of the group of people that are, characteristic of what you look like and what you talk like, right? So not what you talk about, but what you talk like, right? I think we have to be responsible with the content that we push out here. Content creators oftentimes are like, well, people are responsible for how they take me and what they do with this and blah, blah, blah. And you're right. You're not responsible for another person's actions. You're not really even responsible for their emotions. But when you are pushing out content at a high volume and there is a message in your content that moves and shakes the way that the world around us.
Well, ma'am, you just admitted you don't give a fuck about being irresponsible with your message because somebody already told you that you were being irresponsible. You have a message. You push it out. You do voluminous videos. What? Why didn't that apply to you, ma'am? You just gonna skip over you?
And you see that your following is kind of cult-like, and there's no variation of opinion. There's no acceptability of opinions that are different from yours and things like
How
that.
do you know when your following is cult-like?
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And that's what I've been saying from the very beginning. It's dangerous when you are a man at that age and you're telling these young people.
Ma'am, you sound like a hater. Because he popping and you not. Never mind. I'm going to just push play.
Who are one day aspiring to connect with a person in a meaningful way and build a life with them. And you are a roadblock in their path to success. And you're telling them, no, marriage isn't for Black people because Black women are lesser than, right? If you are a person,
can I say something? Hold on. Let me say something. Yeah, my brain just blew out my head, and I didn't even do it on purpose. So she's putting accountability because these young people is listening to Kevin say, "No, don't get married, don't do that." But yet and still, when
did Kevin say don't get married? He actually pushes marriage, which is weird. Why she's saying that?
Well, my point is this: they always say about educators, it starts at home. Don't assume, don't think because you send your child to school that they're going to learn all the fundamentals. That's the responsibility of the parent. So now you're telling me one man, the Godfather, as they call him, is now telling every Black folks in America, all these young Black folks, don't get married, and they actually listening to him. Come on, man, that should start at the house.
Well, I've never heard this man tell somebody don't get married.
He sometimes he might say
he's told men not to because they have something to lose, but I've never heard him tell a woman don't get married. He actually would ask a lot of women who said they left their husband or boyfriend why.
Well, Letitia, you listen to him. Have you ever heard him actually directly say that quote, or is it more indirect, like you're not ready to get married and you're not getting married to that man, but you got kids, you need to focus on your children? Because that's where I get when he says that. Like,
no, he's never said that. In fact, he would probably ask them, why didn't you marry your baby daddy?
Okay, well, Trey,
I'm telling you now, he.
So Trey, are you a secret KS fan in the background? So
I watched him for a period, and then I stopped.
You be putting on that smell good stuff on when I be coming over?
Ma'am, I was wearing cologne before I knew this nigga existed. I've been a player. Got to smell good.
For Black people, because Black women are lesser than, right? If you are a person who is pushing out that type of content, that level of
when did he tell black women, they were listening. If you came on the show and you were fine as hell, he gave you your props. If you was average at best, he told you that as well. But these people knew what they were signing up for when they hit the link. And again, some people just wanted their 5 minutes of shame while y'all feeling like they were hurt and put down and all that. Maybe they had an IG page they got popping off an appearance on this show. Or they had a YouTube channel. These are things that people do.
Irresponsibility when it comes to your content being created, it's damaging. It's damaging. Okay? So, whereas I believe that everybody is entitled to their opinions and posting them as they see fit, I don't believe that you should be harming other people in the content that you decide to put out here into this atmosphere.
Who did he harm?
To be and exist, coexist.
Who did he harm? Somebody's feelings being hurt is not harming them.
I told you, she said she had people that I don't know if clients or what, said that they were in the stage of the S word. I forgot I said it out loud earlier. I don't know how YouTube works with that word, but harming themselves after rewatch. Not even the person that was on there talking with him, is the people listening that's like, oh my God, I'm gonna harm myself. I mean, it's not funny, but that's what she's saying.
She lying, G.
Child, listen.
There's a blatant lie.
They have to be responsible. So I'm going to post a link for Susanna so she can come on. If anyone else wants to share their insights, that's fine. We are into the second topic right now. Just please understand that if you come on, you do have to cam up because I'm just not for foolishness. Go ahead and put that disclaimer out there.
I'm just going to review the part with
her. So there is a certain level of responsibility that I feel like as content creator,
she's triggering before Urban gets up there. Urban, where's the timestamp when you came in, sir?
Sir, just push your finger until you see his big head self up there. Because he got the camera on.
My intro is a perfect example of that. I speak and I am very clear of the fact that, yes, I am a psychotherapist. And we do talk about sometimes some issues surrounding mental health and how to get help and things like that. And I am a doctor and I do talk about health and wellness and things like that, right? But I'm not your doctor. I'm not your psychotherapist, right? And if I were, I wouldn't say it. I'm looking for the capacity in a person. If you go and you look for the negative qualities in a person, that's all you will see. You have to learn how to be curious in this thing called life, because healing, true healing, walking a life of healing means you recognize that there are qualities in other people that definitely are part of your trauma, so you can trauma bond with a person. Mm-hmm. I'm not telling you guys to not trauma bond with people, but recognize the value and the worth and in your position in that person's life when you do decide to trauma bond with them, because maybe you have a greater purpose. So that's my biggest thing. You know, it's a way to do this.
Oh, my bad, Urban. I thought you was gone. I thought you went to sleep because you was not feeling good. Who called Urban who said Urban had a big head? I don't remember that happening.
That's Kevin Samuels. He used to say that.
I didn't say that. I mean, I don't remember hearing that, Urban. Go back and get your medicine and lay down, boo-boo. Go get your Twix and your orange juice.
That is a nasty cup. Chocolate and orange juice.
I told him that too. His stomach was probably messed up.
What the hell?
Twix. I was like, in the bathroom all night.
Urban, the therapist. You know Michael Pitt, Kevin Samuels, when you say big head?
No, George just called him a big head. He said, scroll forward till I see his big head self hit the screen.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that was me. He gonna get me tomorrow. Ooh, good child. The morning motivation he about to go live on me, honey. You got my back. Okay.
Look what happened to you. He's Kevin Samuels, y'all.
One last debate. Let's do it. Let's do this one.
We can like Kevin Samuels. I'll go for it.
Hey, first of all, my condolences to Kevin Samuels here. You know, rest in peace. Man did a lot.
Urban put Kevin Samuels' picture over himself. That nigga came prepared.
Brandy got the question.
Urban, how you gonna go on somebody else's show using effects and stuff? This nigga said, I want to give my condolences to Kevin Samuels, and then he put the picture up.
Child, they was ready to throw tomatoes at his ass. I didn't hear that part. He wouldn't have said he gotta get jumped.
Question of the hour, and the answer is no. When do you get paid? Before or after? The girl did not get paid. She did not get paid. She should have been in the old school ways of put the money on the dresser. Start.
Okay, so
put the money on the dresser before we get anything going.
So they're assuming, or I don't know, maybe I'm getting.
They're assuming the girl was a prostitute.
But I thought she was a nurse or something of that nature.
You she was a nurse. What's her name? Jessica X debunked all of those rumors. I gotta go check her channel out. I don't know if that.
Yeah, I think I had her in my watch later. I haven't got to it yet, but I seen when she was talking about it too. So the lady isn't a woman of the night.
No, she's not a woman of the night. She's a nurse. She debunked the woman of the night rumors. She showed
Dr. Jefferson, you should be more responsible with your message, ma'am. You're spreading lies.
She showed receipts and everything, like pictures of the young lady on her photo on her nursing degree with her name, full name, and everything.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm. She was Kevin Samuels' friend outside of YouTube. Like they hadn't
friends with benefits.
No, I don't think so. She lived in London. She's from London. They never met in person, but she said they used to talk on the phone.
So she ain't the big booty girl that was in the room with him that made the 911 call.
Was who the big booty girl?
The nurse.
There's been a couple pictures of who was allegedly with him.
The woman that was in the room with him was not a big booty girl at all. No.
Oh, that's the wrong picture.
Right. The woman whose picture they're using, she even came on her page on IG, I think, or Twitter or something like that, and was like, "Would y'all please stop using my picture? I'm not. That's not me. I've never met Kevin Samuels a day in my life. Please stop."
Okay, Letitia, let's slow down for 2 seconds. Since you the expert, I need answers. So, was there a woman? Because there was a 911 call.
Yeah, I have the video.
So the nurse is not the woman that was in the room with him.
It was a nurse, but the picture they're using is not the actual nurse who was in the room with him.
Okay, so who's the friend that's from London that he never met?
Jessica X, she's a content creator. She the one that
Jessica, okay, her. Okay, so but there was a woman in the room, the nurse, and there was some friends with benefits going on in there.
Right.
Okay.
I thought you were talking about Jessica X when you said
no.
Oh yeah, I know Jessica from London.
Yeah. I got it confused. It got jumbled up. Okay, we still talking about the lady. Okay, so cool beans.
Yeah, they just been using the wrong picture, saying that's who was there with him.
Right, her name is something Hortensia or something like that.
Yeah, Hortensia. Mm-hmm. Okay.
But no, because he was dying. Yeah. He was dying. She was there trying to save his life. That to me is probably the most detrimental thing I could think of to a lady trying to make her money.
What?
So she keeps calling that lady a prostitute.
Trish, we both said what at the same. I was muted. I was like, what? Wait.
She keep calling this lady a prostitute.
Wow.
So basically, nobody did their due diligence. They just going based off of YouTube reporters.
She was very, she was very irresponsible with her message that she's pushing.
Trey is.
The only person I seen did their due diligence is Jessica X.
That's why I said this is triggering. This lady went the fuck off.
We're talking about this narrative right now that Kevin Samuels had that young lady in there.
It was a narrative. You heard the 911 call?
Yeah, I did a live about it yesterday.
Yeah, she was in there. She was in there.
Doesn't mean she's a prostitute.
That's detrimental for her to have to go through. Mm-hmm. But it is saying that he lived the life that he was preaching to young.
If she was a nurse, then she's seen that before. It wasn't
And
her
what is
first
the
time.
life that she's saying she's living the life that he was not portraying? The lady found
She keeps saying the woman is a prostitute.
And she probably thinks she was the bigger woman still,
oh my God.
because he talked about Big Shirley and stuff like that, and called women big and overweight and stuff like that. So
But the
because of
lady
what
in the picture, Shay Sean, wasn't big.
she wasn't, but if you see the picture of the real person, she's way smaller than her. She's like a petite Spanish looking woman or something.
She ain't look like the linebacker lady.
But what I'm saying is, I'm listening to the words she's using. She's saying he died in a room with a woman that he's telling these young people not to be with. And
Let's skip it back. Let's skip it back a few seconds and see.
She was in there, and that's pretty detrimental for her to have to go through. Mm-hmm. But it is saying that he lived the life that he was preaching to young other men to do, like to value a woman for her sexual marketplace value. So I can't say the man
she said
lied.
he lived the life.
No, she was.
But he had two different messages. He had a message for men and a message for women. They were totally different, though.
So he was not even sure he valued her for her. I think it was for him because his whole purpose was about him. It was never about anybody else. It was always about him.
So?
And the more you agree with what he said, the bigger in his head he thinks he was more and more important. Mm-hmm. He created more stuff.
Clean.
The person who he was important because the person whose show you're saying that on did a month-long docuseries on him. That's how important he was.
Mm-hmm. She couldn't go to sleep without thinking about
it. She's like, I'm in Atlanta. I remember that story too where you told me you saw him out in Atlanta. I remember these things.
She saw him in Atlanta.
She was. I'm trying to remember what it was. She was saying that he dated women or something, and she was saying I've seen him in Atlanta with women. I think she wanted Kevin. He probably told her, "You're average at best." She was a little offended.
Wanted Kevin. All these hating women. I took a lot of them.
She was like, "But I got 8 degrees and 56 properties," and he was like, "I don't care."
And that's my thing about that, because certain people that is speaking out against him, the certain content creators that I've been seeing, the women, they try to hold themselves to a higher statue. I mean, we all are good in our own rights in real life in whatever we do. But I think people they're getting really offended, and that's why it's so easy for them to say, "Well, I'm glad he did," but these are the same women that would never call into a show because they can never hold a real conversation with them without getting triggered. And Trey,
8 degrees and out.
Think in your brain, you could think about a few of the women I'm speaking of, the ones with the husbands, and I do all this, I travel around the world, and the other ones that I do. It's a lot of these content creator women on here that's like, I'm so glad he's gone, because now I look good again.
But his words are still there, so he just can't put out nothing new. The old stuff will still be there.
Yep, I was just going to say the same thing. He still got videos.
In fact, the old stuff is going to be watched more because he can't create anything new.
Yep. I sure went back and started watching stuff from years ago.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if she was thinking about that. I think she might have been scared.
Perhaps she was scared, but she's not stupid.
No. I don't think she was afraid because if she's a nurse, then she's already trained to deal with traumatic experiences.
No, that doesn't mean they don't get scared either. They get scared.
First of all,
And there you have the guy in the background, her producer. She wasn't no nurse. She was a nurse Betty. How do you know she wasn't a nurse? How do you know she was a prostitute?
Mm-hmm.
You can call your nurse if you have an associate's degree or the bachelor's degree. So, master's degree.
Anyone in them.
At the lower insurance, I'm just saying.
Anyone in them qualify her to be a nurse. As long as she understands the assignment.
She understood the assignment of what she was there to do. Okay, she was at the engineer's department for the very first time. She couldn't give people directions as to how to get to the apartment. She didn't know the apartment number. She didn't know the apartment number.
So she said it was Kevin freaking Samuels. That should be good enough.
Right, but as if this guy is really somebody.
He is. Why I sit up here capping talking about Kevin Samuels? Everybody knows Kevin Samuels.
No.
Exactly. You're talking about him for like the 100th time on your channel.
So he got to be somebody to you at least.
But because she didn't know his address, that makes her a prostitute and not a nurse. That couldn't have been, they couldn't have. He couldn't have always went to her house, and that was the first time he invited her over.
What you think about? And I don't know if you look at Angela's stand or not, but she was saying she made a video about him. She was saying that how the fact that he picked up a woman and didn't know her and brought it back to his house, it was like an oxymoron act that he committed. So she was basing that on the fact that if he called himself a high value man, she said high value men don't bring strange women back to their house if they got too much to lose.
Well, that's a catch-22 because at the end of the day, with all these terminologies that people putting out here, we got high value man, and we still the verdict is still out on what the hell a Dulo twist is.
Well, yeah, I was about to say, I was just going to say, I don't take anything somebody from the Kwame Brown camp say, I don't listen to. But
no, I wasn't going to say it because she's from the Kwame Brown. I'm just saying
that's me. Okay, that's me. But
she's just a hater. That's why.
Yes, I am. That's me. But to her point, saying that high value men don't bring strange women to their house, what do you think these athletes and shit do?
Yeah.
Come on, lady, what do you think these rappers and stuff do?
Well, I wasn't going to get into the whole Tory Megan thing, but we all need to stop. And I'm not just saying, I'm not talking about us up here. I'm just talking about life period. Come to find out she stepped on glass, but for 2 years we thought she got shot with a gun.
Well, that's what they said at first, that she stepped on glass.
Yep,
but then you see how the media twisted and turned that all the way around and still said, "Oh, well, we're still going to say she got shot, and we're still going to take his."
Well, no, it's not it wasn't the media. It's what the police decided to do.
No, it was the media. When I say media, I mean they took him off of Apple Music. They stripped his music from a lot of
based on the police report saying he assaulted her.
But in this same thing right here, while they're goofing around and laughing about, oh, it's still a nurse and she still needed to, I'm like, ciao. And even with Angela saying that he's an oxymoron for that, and it's still nobody's doing their due diligence to even sit down and actually review what's going on. They're basing all of this off of media speculation.
And social media at that.
Wait a minute. And I just got to throw this out there. Tommy Sotomayor did not know that woman, and yet she was invited to his house to do a show.
Mm.
And she's an op now after that. So by her logic, he wasn't supposed to do it because he got too much to lose. Niggas have cameras in their houses and all types of shit.
Yeah.
So, you got security systems, all of that good stuff. So they got stuff to lose. Like you may walk into a room and steal some, but the other shit, even that'll still be caught on camera though. But where
Right.
else are they supposed to go? The hotel? Why would I spend money on a hotel if I'm single and I got a nice ass crib?
A nice crib.
I'm single. Like she talking about cheating. Like no, we got to go here. These people.
Brandy here is just learning about him. What's the other guy that I read his comment earlier? Mark Williams. He's just learning about him in the aftermath of his death. But he was like, man, interesting. A lot of controversy. Hitting. His platform.
I still have my rents. It'll probably be gone if she gets word of this review.
Find out more to get my own perception, but I just feel like as a content creator, this guy was one. Please, let's for all 10 minutes, okay?
No, let me talk about that, all right? And I had talked about this on my own platform too, as well. See, the overall thing that a lot of people disagree with Kevin Samuels on was his delivery of this message, which I agree. There were a lot of times where Kevin Samuels would purposely troll people, but he did it because of entertainment. Also, on the flip side, there are other people who literally call on the show to troll Kevin Samuels, and that'll be the moment where he ended up going off to them. They'll be the actual viral moments that people will see. They only see that particular moment when he's literally going off on people. You know what I'm saying? That captured that type of viral moment. But yeah, he was. I mean, he was. He was a butler for real. I'm not gonna take that away. He was. He really was.
I think his ideas and around healthy relationships and congruence, embedding healthy relationships, I think they're unrealistic. They're disingenuous. He knew better. That's the reality.
Well, some of it, yeah, some of it, I could agree to you. I could agree that it could be quote unquote not people taste, but at the same time there was some other things that Kevin Samuels was saying that I got to be honest.
You, as a doctor, you realize that people are different. So you saying it wasn't realistic? It actually is a portion of humans that reality is a thing. They actually are living there. So why would you say it's not realistic? It is to the people that are living that way. There were people living that way before he came up. He didn't come up with that concept. He got it from somewhere. People were actually living this life. You can see it every day. Maybe it's unreal. But see, like again, with all the life, the stuff that she says she's done, you would think this lady was born in 1920.
Real spot on about it. When he was talking about the concept about how the way the modern day women are, you know, saying that he deals with within his space, where they literally would curve a dude like me, right? Because I'm not considered as high value to them. So they'll curve me and they'll go after, you know, the 1 or 2% dudes who are actually making a lot of money. They'll go after them first. They'll go and procreate with these dudes. Then when these dudes do whatever they do with them, they end up leaving them with a child. The next thing you know, that's when they finally lower their standards and try to talk to a guy like me and have this high expectation, thinking that a guy like me is supposed to take on.
See, Urban, you forgot they come with kids and extra weight because they didn't get fat by the end too. See, they was fine when they curbed you. Now they all ugly and stuff when they come back.
And Tisha, like Trey was saying earlier, I think it becomes a point of irritation a little bit because, like Trey was saying, there's an oath, as she calls it. She's a doctor. There's an oath, but it almost seemed like I almost feel like, yeah, I ain't going back to her to talk about my problems.
Yeah.
And then again, it's like we've been on panels with her, and the things that we heard her say, like if you let her tell it, she P. Diddy from the 1920s.
Well,
She was in the army. She from another country.
So she did everything.
She did. When I say everything,
She was
I
an
think she was.
officer in the army. She was in 2 wars.
She was what is it called when a criminal? I mean, not a criminal, but
A
in
clinician.
no,
She
when
done
you
did
get
brain
held
surgeries.
captive as a in the military.
A POW.
She did that 3 times. She was held and got stoned.
What?
Shot down out of
Shot
helicopters.
down out of a helicopter.
What?
They scooped.
Yes, multiple times.
Yeah, it was a lot of things, and
Had kids.
she got
Had
20
kids.
kids. She got
Got
20
married.
properties.
No,
She got
50
like
properties.
50 properties. She a multi-millionaire, but
What?
at night she hear gunshots. I ain't heard
You a
no gunshots in the hood
multi-millionaire.
since I
While
was
doing
growing up.
YouTube and
Right.
Facebook.
So it's a lot of things she has said. I ain't saying the lady, she cool beans with me, but it's
And not
hard to
every girl
listen
be
to her
doing
because it's
YouTube as
like,
a
damn, you
multi-millionaire.
talking about realistic things. You haven't said a lot of realistic things to us. I'm just sitting there like, huh?
I was gonna say the trade, not that she can't be a YouTuber, being a millionaire. There's a lot of millionaires on YouTube.
Yeah, I've come to find out.
Listen, it's always been a tramp stamp for me. That titty tattoo
Yes,
always threw me off.
you know what?
I'm sorry, that always throw me off.
It looked like she's went and got it recolored.
Yeah, well, that's child that from yeah. Okay.
Mm-mm.
So she got there when she was 19, my G.
Mm-mm.
I guess. I don't know.
That they did. Their accountability, their children, and everything, which that could have prevented that by just talk to a guy like me.
In that is his own self.
Right.
Is important.
Right. It's not. So there's
But if that's his own self, what is wrong with him saying, man, I've been through it. If you ain't the best looker or you ain't got no money, forget women right now. Focus on yourself. This is what he's telling the men. Focus on yourself, get the money. You can pick and choose any women you want. And then he's telling the women, well, if you want to get with one of these guys that you say you desire, this is what you got to do.
I just want to thank you guys on the panel. You guys are getting me through my last exam. I got I got 3 chapters I gotta finish.
Well, you're welcome.
Yes, I'm one of these type of people. When I study or do papers, I have to talk and be moving around. Otherwise, I get distracted and I start watching Netflix. So you guys are helping me. Thanks. Thank you, Trey. I'm on chapter 10 now. I got one more chapter to go.
I'm the opposite. I couldn't be on here and read and try to study.
Are you like quiet? I can't do quiet and do stuff. I move around too much. B Nicole, you got a tramp stamp? Let me find out. That lady got a big ass tramp stamp right on, and she always wearing a low cut shirt because she wants y'all to. Child, she's not.
How many tramp stamps you got, ma'am?
I ain't got no tramp stamps. I got hood tattoos. I got one on my neck, one on my wrist. Seen them?
Keep going.
I ain't got no tramp stamps.
You're a trooper, Joy.
The tramp stamps ain't a tramp stamp is when you got them on your breast.
Your butt. It's
Yeah.
not in your butt.
It says the original one is on your back, but she got hers like on between the chest and the
Original.
titty.
First of all, you are
The original is the back stamp.
First of all, you're an infant. Talking about the original. How do you know what's the original tramp stamp? You're a baby.
Whoa.
Because I've experienced several of them, ma'am. I've experienced several of them.
The lower back.
The lower back, like the lower, right on your butt, like right
in between.
And then it's the one on your breast. The lower back and the one on your breast. I thought you were talking about like on your back, because I got one on my back, but it's not my lower back. It's my upper shoulder.
You got one on your lower stomach.
I have one on my stomach.
That's a tramp stamp.
That's not a tramp stamp. A tramp stamp is when you have to see it all the time.
And
I don't have any tattoos.
when never mind. I'm just gonna leave that one alone.
Go ahead, leave it alone, because you.
I'm gonna leave it alone before I tell all your business.
Please don't tell all her business.
Please don't tell all my business, child. Because I'm going to do a short of your ass.
It is. You're looking at on the surface. So even though you're looking at on the surface, some of these women do, because life is about learning. As you live, you learn. And Kevin Samuels indicated that he had no lessons to learn because he didn't learn anything. He continued to live and he continued to push out this narrative that this is what the reality is. Okay? And the reality is that's not the vast majority of Black women. It's not even a small. It's not even a fraction of the Black women to call valid. That's the reality.
Let me clarify something to y'all too. When I'm speaking about the concept of modern day women, and I've noticed this, a lot of women get triggered on that because they group themselves all together within this narrative, right? No.
How you gonna say right and then say we don't?
Well, when I'm using the term modern day women, I'm talking about a certain type of women who resembles this certain type of behavior that I'm talking about.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. So today, Black women, though, it would be modern day, and even before modern day, hood Black women, because there's a mentality that goes.
So why does it matter if it's called hood or modern day?
What that is that because you come from nothing and you are not curated to know anything, that is exactly.
Ma'am, but no matter what you call it, hood behavior or modern day behavior, it's not a lie. What is the argument here? The way he called it, the title he gave it? This cannot be real.
Man, they were trying to jump my G.
Urban, how did you sit up here with this?
They were trying to jump my G up there.
So y'all know I went off on the good doctor several times. Like, it don't make no sense.
And he was just as calm.
Oh, he just got up here, but I'm saying I right there I would have been a bit teed off. Like, what are you talking about, lady? You just said it's hood behavior, not modern day behavior. Okay, it's still behavior that's being called out, no matter what it's called. She just don't like the man, so she gonna find any reason to argue anything he says.
What you operate in. So when you think about the way that Kevin Samuels is creating this narrative and pushing it out towards other people outside of that group of people as the norm for this particular culture of modern day Black women, but that's a blanket statement for all modern day Black women. It's so inaccurate because such a small fraction of them operate from that particular mindset. But
it's
just because a woman ends up with children as a result of whatever having happened to her baby daddy.
Because she ended up dating a dusty dude. That's what it boils down to is that these type of women with these type of behavior, they end up dating these dusty dudes. Just like what Brandon was saying, she was saying that it's a blanket statement, but she's talking modern day men want to split bills and stuff like that. That is a true statement. I agree with you. But that be these whole dusty dudes that be want to do that as well too. You know what I'm saying? So they go after these type of dusty modern day dudes and stuff, right? And deal with them, right? Then once when the relationship doesn't work out, that's when they quote unquote lower their standards to try to date average, I guess an average as best guy like me or any other
one. We're going based on definitions of content, but that's what I'm saying. You're still going off of his conversation around what average and value.
No. I'm not just going off of it. His perspective about it. I'm going also off my own personal perspective and my personal experience as well with dealing with the behavior of these type of not only women but these type of men as well too that we're talking about tonight.
Yeah, but so that's the thing. So when you think about high value, the concept of value in and of itself is perceptual, and it's perceptual so much to it to the fact that you can't have a universal guy that on the surface fits those components without actually sitting down having a conversation with them, right? And so value is based off of universal contribution. If you think about it, there's no universal contribution in a person making six figures. Six figures is not the end of the world either. Okay.
It's not, but you know, there's a small percentage of Americans that makes that, right? So why it's not all the end all be all, as you said, it's not the norm either. And you know this, good doctor.
So it's no universal value in a man having a large penis. A large penis that doesn't make.
He can be a porn star and he can get more women than a guy with a small penis. This is just facts.
Hard to ejaculate, to procreate, it's meaningless.
What the? She said there's nothing positive about a large penis, and then having a large penis, and then she went to say you can't procreate and it's limp. So there's no like. Is this somebody that you dated? Is that who hate? Is that who hurt you? The guy with the large penis, but he couldn't get it up, and you were disappointed. Because that was just how did you even come up with those two things?
These are the facts. You talking about facts? These are the facts. Okay, there is no high value in having a woman who is a virgin versus a woman who has had sex, however many times. Why?
She just said there is no value in a woman who hasn't had sex versus a woman who has had kids or sex however many times. Let's hear where this is going.
The virgin who is a woman who is a virgin versus a woman who has had sex however many times. Why? Because the virgin who is chaste, she cannot have children, has no value in the grand scheme of things because her divine purpose on.
What the hell? Because she's a virgin doesn't mean she can't have kids. And in some cultures, they still value marrying a virgin. They have more value than you. You're stupid, ma'am. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. You're stupid for you to even say that. Just to, cause you don't like it. I'm taking a bet.
Third is to give life. Is to be the person that brings life forward, right? That is their purpose. So if you really think about it in the grand scheme of things, when we think about the idea of value, the social constructs of value are what he is teaching people, and he is teaching one that is not valid. It has no truth. So whether this woman became a single mother by way of her child's father dying in a car accident, when she became a single mother by way of her child's father dying in his role because he decided to go chase other women, or she became a single mother because the father never stepped up and lived in the role of a father in the beginning. She is still a single mother, and she still is responsible for molding, cultivating, and shaping this life to go out into this world to be fruitful, multiply, and.
If you're gonna give that example, then you have to give particulars like how old was the child when the dad died in the car accident. See, these are things that because if the child was a teenager or 10, 11, they got memories of their father. They knew what their father did. They have a foundation already. If the child is a newborn per se and the dad dies in the accident, you still got time to find a suitable guy to replace. You just went straight from 0 to 100, but gave no examples or any. Well, the examples you did give were kind of, as I said, the dying in the car accident. That's fine. You saying the dude cheating, running off chasing women. Well, if you want to, if he left chasing women this wouldn't be the first time he'd done this. So if he had a habit of doing it, why would you choose to procreate with this gentleman? So that's two examples, Stan. What was that third one? Or the baby daddy just wasn't there from the beginning? Well, again, ma'am, you chose that nigga. Apparently, you did not know him well enough to have a child. That still comes back to personal accountability because we can't get y'all pregnant if y'all aren't letting us hit bear. Urban, you needed me up there, sir, but I wouldn't have went.
In the world that God created. Like that is a mother's role innately. And so what you have to think about is that if he is not teaching that, as her value and her worth, her ability to be able to do these things, cultivate life.
So now you trying to tell this grown ass man who's paying his own bills, who's successful at paying his bills off what he does, you trying to tell him what he should have done. Well, ma'am, how about this? How about you use the Kevin Samuels blueprint, you implement your way, and then tell us how your method worked. He gave you the blueprint. You heard exactly what he's telling women. You say he wrong. Use the same, do the opposite. Tell them what they need to hear then. Tell them what their worth is. He told them what their worth was based on asking them, though, to tell. He asked them to tell them what their worth was. He'd ask them first, rate yourself. He didn't rate you off top. He told you to do it first. Then based off what you said, he kept it real with you. If you kept it real with yourself, he didn't argue with you.
Success for this person that she's responsible for, he has no truth in his teachings at all.
Right. I mean, Paul, a lot of his narrative, he was teaching about, basically, high value and talk to, preferably to these set women, right? But there are other part in this message is where he literally was teaching the concept. I didn't see lives where he literally was doing it, where he did a whole entire one show talking about the very thing that you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Throughout the whole entire show. So there's truth into what he's saying. The whole point about it is that a lot of people don't agree with the truth based on how the way he presented it. And that's what it lies.
But it's not presented because the reality is it's not the truth. Right. If you ask a woman, if you say, okay, you want this high value man. So what's your dress size? How much do you weigh? How tall are you? How many children do you have? If these are the questions that you are trying to gauge, whether or not she is a 8, 10.
First of all, ma'am, if a woman thinks this nigga can speak for every high value man, she's an idiot. Every high value man isn't the same. That's why niggas are with different type of women. Everybody don't like fat women, but it's a portion of niggas that do. That's why there's no shortage of fat women having boyfriends and husbands. You have to stop this, good doctor. You should know better.
1, 3, 2, whatever. On. Okay? Everything that you just said that he does stand for, he does not. Because that's not the value of a woman. Have you had sex before? Or have you had kids? Okay, so if you haven't been married to that person and you got this child, what makes you think you qualify for marriage?
This nigga has never asked a woman, have you had sex before? He does, however, ask if you've had kids.
And he perceives you as less than.
He asked women why they hold out.
I can take the same thing.
He asked women why they have a 90-day rule.
And apply that to the same
so he clearly doesn't care about
approach men
how much sex
women
you've
approach
had.
men with the same concept as well too. The very first thing that a woman look at a man is how the way he's dressed, his shoe size. Then once when they engage into the conversation,
his car,
attraction, they start asking,
do he got on jewelry?
Leading questions such as
how tall he is,
what type of job he do. What
Is he a celebrity?
Because I know women get triggered when I say that. Women.
That's what we're talking about the stability of modern day women.
Well, yeah. What can I use? Well, modern day women, what they do is that they'll they'll go into the conversation. They immediately start asking. Nowadays, they'll ask a dude, how many children do you have? Well, what is your salary? What can you bring to the table? Are you able to provide for me? All these different things, which to be truthful about it, is valid questions because when you ask those questions, what are you doing? You're basically vetting that person to see
if they worth your time.
Good quality candidate for you to date, which is nothing wrong. And likewise,
good job, Urban.
That's what we're doing. No anything different than what the woman's doing. I was talking about the difference that a man is looking at her, a man is looking at her the way she looks. The man then is looking at what she could bring to him, what value she's going to bring towards him. You know what I'm saying? There's no difference.
So, first thing, Archer, you have to cam up if you want to come on. We have to see that you are a real person and all that good stuff. Okay, so we'll let you through. You can pull them through to add into the stream. But so I want to say this. A woman and a man asking those questions or scaling those questions, right? It's very different because if
it's not.
That you just stated, right? Let's say a woman is asking those questions to that whether or not this is an appropriate guy for her to submit to, because that's what they're going to. That's really what that is. Yeah,
it's only different because you want it to be. Kevin Samuels has sold himself as an image consultant and a person who is around the type men that these women are saying that they want. So they're saying, in your opinion, would the guys that you know date me based on my qualifications? He doesn't tell everyone no. There's a lot of guesses that got given to, but you just don't care about that. You're being totally biased, ma'am. Totally. It's a bit appalling.
Questions that give her an indication that this is the content of this man's character, because a man who works has work ethic. If he has work ethic on a job and he is responsible because he has been on a job and a career for X amount of time, it shows us the content of his character. It shows whether or not he's committed and can be committed to a thing, whatever that thing is. So it's not just the questions that we're asking. Right. You're only looking at the surface level. For women, we're asking questions that tell us what the capacity of this man may be. Right.
It's the same thing when men do it to women, you jackass. Why would you argue that it's different and both of them are trying to see if the person is worth their time? That's all you're saying the woman is doing, seeing if it's worth his time. You try to know if he can commit because you want to know if the nigga is worth your time. Urban just said the same thing for me, and you said, no, it's different. Oh, boy.
Right now, the quality of his ability to
So his overall quality, that's what y'all were looking at initially.
Yeah, we're looking for the ideation of the man.
And we trying to see how many baby mamas, baby daddies you got and shit.
Some men are out here towing the line and selling the drugs on the street. A lot of people are looking like, oh, well, he's in the streets, he's selling dope, blah, blah, blah. If his mindset is I get money by any means necessary. We're gonna have our own language, you guys. But that's his mindset, right? And that's the end for him. That's what he wants out of life, right? He wants to be living a life where he's toting a gun, where he's on the streets doing illegal activity, knowing that could compromise his ability to be able to protect the family system that he's a part of, right? There's no way.
So, ma'am, why would any woman procreate with that guy if they know that's what that guy is? Again, it comes down to the personal choice of the woman who has the most to lose in an unprotected sex situation.
that a woman who knows that her job is to do just that, the molding, cultivating, shaping lives, preparing for these streets, right? Mm-hmm. There's no way she's going to want to align herself with that man, because what she sees is that if she does that, she negates that responsibility for her to do just what it is that she was put here to do as a parent. Mm-hmm. Just as a parent.
But even that narrative that you're talking about, which I agree with.
But ma'am, they're doing it anyway. So the shit that you're saying they're put here to do, they don't give a fuck about, because only 24% of black women are married. So, and guess what? There's a shit ton of babies running around that are coming from non two parent households that are married, the way the sole purpose they were here for. And you know what a lot of these kids come from? Drug dealers, the thugs and stuff you saying these women wouldn't align themselves with and lay down and have kids with. Yeah, they coming from them niggas. They coming from the rappers who still in the streets, who have 5 or 6 kids and then they get shot. Yeah, they're coming from those niggas.
By the way, I agree with it. But however, just like when we say that, not all men are like this, the same concept goes with the woman too. Not all women had that perceived mature mentality like that. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, probably before I came up, I just got to doing a lot of talking about Ariana Fletcher, about her taking her son to this venue or
Ari Fletcher stout
like
as hell.
I got to talking about that stuff, right? As far as
your sound is going in and out. We lost you.
They muted my nigga
No,
because he was killing it.
Your sound's going out. Sound is out. I don't know, maybe his thing is lagged. And Archer joined a moment ago and said men can't vet. Let's see.
That's what you making it seem like men can't vet. You talking about it's different.
I just messaged him. Perhaps he'll see it on the thingy. But so we'll let him get his sound together. Can you hear us? Not really. Okay, hold on one moment. All right. We can read lips.
And what she's saying is just crazy as hell anyway, because there are men out here that won't date women with kids, and there's a whole bunch of men that do. There's some, like, what the hell? It's women that won't date niggas with kids. It's a whole bunch of them that do. I don't know why you act like shit don't exist on both sides. But you the doctor. And you was born in 1920. So you should know better.
It's a gift. So in the meantime, let's read some of the comments.
They muted my nigga.
What if it was all up in the plan to lure him in and end it all?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I've had enough. If y'all want to watch the rest of this video, go to Urban Channel and he can tell y'all where to go. I ain't giving her no more free promo. I did that in the beginning when she had bumped into me. Ain't nothing free, ain't no more free promo. If y'all want to watch the rest of it, it's on Urban Channel.
You're the worst reaction video person ever.
What you mean?
I don't know. You just be ready to quit. You just like,
I'm fuck this shit. Right, yeah.
I can't even say nothing about it because I didn't hear it. I only heard it from Urban's when he did it on his live. So I don't know what point to say no, right? And I was like, okay.
Yeah, well, Urban already refuted this part. I just caught a little of it, and I did before she came up there. That's why I said they go to Urban's channel to hear the rest of it because he reviewed his whole portion.
Well, Trish, I know Trish be having her early mornings. It might be 10 o'clock here. I don't know. Is it a 3-hour difference?
It's 12 where I'm at, so yeah, it's late.
Well, when she catch the replay of this, I appreciate her jumping on the panel because I know this is her subject right here, Kevin Samuels, honey.
This shit hurt. I just.
And see how Kevin Samuels supporters don't get attacked?
She
They
probably
just-
gonna take my wrench if she get wind of this. That's why I ain't telling y'all where to go. Y'all be like, he did a review, y'all. Haters.
But thank you for letting me on your panel, sir.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, so rude.
Wow, howdy. You got anything to say?
I just said it. You don't want to act like a grumpy old man.
I am. I'm angry. She triggered me.
Child.
I need to go jogging or something. Quit laughing at me.
I cannot do this. I'm muting.
And you the one talking about it's the tramp stamp for me. That was
Sir.
you, ma'am.
All right, Trey, but I'm not triggered. You said you got to go take a run, Tom.
Yeah, I do. Whatever. I got to go jogging or something. Well, hey, I ain't no doctor, but I don't hear gunshots every day where I'm at.
That's true. I'm a witness to that.
My feet up, my feet up, my feet up. The trap I'm doing me. Hey, I'm keep back with my feet up in the trap. I'm doing me. My feet up, I'm doing me. My feet up. Hey, I'm keep back with my feet up in the trap. I'm doing me. Keep my distance from these suckers. I can't let them ruin me. Drug dealer, pimps and hustlers, they the ones influence me. 13 jumped off the post with drugs is influence. Hey, I'm keep back with my feet up. Keep back with my feet up. Keep back with my feet up in the trap. I'm doing me. Hey, I'm keep back with my feet up. Keep back with my feet up. Drug dealer, pimps and hustlers, they the ones influence me. Way to work naked like a skinny dipping, no crossing needed for the crucifixion. Fold out, couple screws missing. Paranoid believing superstition. No paper in the river fishing. Niggas slow, what a nigga kissing. Without a diamond, still shine glisten. Set around so everybody itching. Call it strong, charging for a mission. Mathematics, simple addition. Bad luck like a bad chick. One of the few still around the street, no matter what. Never act different, no GPS. Money back tripping. Money cup, guess I'm back sipping. Like Jackson Kid, I guess I'm back in. Hey, I'm keep back with my feet up in the trap. I'm doing me. Keep my distance from these suckers. I can't let them ruin me. Drug dealer, pimps and hustlers, they the ones influence me. 13 jumped off the porch with drugs is influence. Hey, I'm keep back with my feet up. Keep back with my feet up. Keep back with my feet up in the trap. I'm doing me. Hey, I'm keep back with my feet up. Keep back with my feet up. Drug dealer, pimps and hustlers, they the ones influence me.
I was riding in the tourist dreaming on the way. Got a night level bun, them another day. Go by the escape, pop run it up. Back down with the dude, shout out to the lane. Near reach out and rally, it's a runner eight. Raw run it up, rock step run it up. I'm a star cloud now, I'm a outer space. Roll run the show, money get it straight straight. Blade brother finna kill every money way. Riding money, so time press a whole day. I would count money way back a whole day. Stepping in with a boy, money trade. HD lifestyle, let me phone day. 4 clips, 2 rock, cone, hand go. Being legal, I carry 34 days. Every time that nigga got a phone.
Hey, I'm keep back with my feet up in the trap. I'm doing me. Keep my distance from these suckers. I can't let them ruin me. Drug dealer, pimps and hustlers, they the ones influence me. 13 jumped off the porch with drugs is influence. Hey, I'm keep back with my feet up. Keep back with my feet up. Keep back with my feet up in the trap. I'm doing me. Hey, I'm keep back with my feet up. Keep back with my feet up. Drug dealer, pimps and hustlers, they the ones influence me. Hey, I'm keep back with my feet up in the trap. I'm doing me. Keep my distance from these suckers. I can't let them ruin me. Drug dealer, pimps and hustlers, they the